Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Catherine Maedeman.
And I'm Lisa Richardson.
And we are at the Beaufort Base Camp, and this is such a great place. It's called the Digital Corridor, where many businesses come here and work. And as we can see, we're using some of their facility here.
Right, it's a great space for folks starting up a business or continuing on with their new one. So we're going to hear from some guests today. And first off, we have Dr. Robert LaFave. He is the Dean at the USCB Beaufort campus.
And we have Nate Schwab, who is the principal owner of Mind Flint, Jamie Fleming, who is the owner of 1212 Design, it's a firm, and also Candace Brassard, who is the Senior Communications Director at USBC. They have a big project going on together.
Yes, and also we're going to be hearing from Shelley Barrett, who is the Executive Director here at the Beaufort Corridor. So stick around, you don't want to miss all this important information.
This is 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Low Country comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We are here in downtown Beaufort at the Digital Corridor Base Camp, and joining us first is Dr. Robert LaFave, who's the Dean at the USCB Beaufort campus.
Right.
Nice to talk with you today. We're
Thanks, Lisa.
Excited to be
Great
here,
to be here
and learn all about this wonderful project that's going, and you're the newest board member.
I love it. Yes, I'm so happy to be part of the BDC board, the Beaufort Digital Corridor. I've been there about 6 months, and I love the idea that it's really, my presence is sort of a partnership with the academic community, because this business, this base camp, it's exciting. It's really what needs to happen in Beaufort. The technology landscape is growing at a tremendous pace, and every community is trying to keep pace with the new businesses and new movements within society and culture, but technology is booming. And the question is, how is Beaufort going to stay abreast of all this? And is Beaufort prepared to be able to move at that light speed? This base camp gives people in the local area that opportunity to learn, to be mentored, and to grow a business, particularly in technology, but other businesses as well, that will enable us to be part of that landscape as technology continues to grow. So this is exciting for me. It's really exciting to be part of the academic area that brings sort of that here too, and make sure that we are tying in possibilities for our local students, so that we're not educating them and have them leave and go someplace else to build that business right here.
All right, there's so many prongs to this, because, you know, number one, you've been in education for a very long time, and you've seen the technology, and it's going so fast, and therefore you have to teach the students, and then you have to give them the tools to go out into the professional world. So that is one issue. But here at Base Camp, which I love about Beaufort, I was here before. I mean, I actually interviewed a couple of students from Charleston, College of Charleston, and they actually received a grant to do some sort of, I can't remember the subject matter, but it's amazing how the education facilities are projecting or participating into this kind of a program.
Absolutely. And we recognize that need. That's a really good point, Catherine, because what happens is we train students in the what. What do you need to know? What is the data? What is the content and the material? Oftentimes we don't do such a good job at teaching them how. How do you take that skill, that talent, that idea, and translate into a business? And that's really important for us to do locally, because there's a very important dynamic in Beaufort. We're losing our 25 to 44-year-olds. We just don't have enough of them. And one of the things that I hope we can do at USCB, maybe even with TCL, is to provide these students an opportunity to get a chance to become institutionalized into the fabric of Beaufort through opportunities like this, where they can grow their business. They can be mentored by people who really care about what they're doing and their idea, and help them slowly begin to turn their idea, their talent, into a real business that can stay here, that can keep them here.
And that's a good point, because Beaufort County itself has such a population of folks who have been very successful in their business world, and they're now here and they have some time. So what a better, I can't think of a better way for those folks to pour into these younger folks that you're talking about.
You know, you can't get the kind of mentoring that is
So
available here. You're right. Some of this talent, the folks who've been CEOs,
Exactly.
now they want to give back.
Right,
And
right.
what a great way to do that, by mentoring a young person in idea development. Because entrepreneurship and idea development, it's not just a one-time thing. It is a gift that keeps giving the rest of your life. It opens up doors to being able to take your ideas and do something with them. And a lot of times, folks are reluctant to try. No one ever
Sure.
taught me what a business plan is like,
Right.
right? How I do a market analysis, what these financial statements mean. These are the kinds of, rubber hitting the road kinds of ideas that gives people opportunities that will stay with them and provide them with a pathway forward for the rest of their life with all their ideas as it comes. And with technology, ideas are always coming.
And then some.
And
then
coming fast.
Just when we think,
Yeah.
So what I love is it's the bridge.
Yeah.
It's a bridge so when the student graduates, they have the boots to the ground. And that's so important because remember when we graduate, okay, we have these degrees, now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And you sort of have to find your way. And I think having the campus right here and also, the evolution, and we've been trying so hard with the Beaufort, Bluffton campuses to bring the young people into our communities, educate them, and oh, by the way, this is a great place to live. How can we
Yes.
facilitate their career development?
Oh, that's the perfect
Yeah.
point. And the one thing I love about the Beaufort campus is it is right here
Yeah.
in downtown Beaufort. I mean, their campus is right here.
Across the street, pretty much.
Right.
Yep.
Which attracts a lot of students because of the waterfront and the history and the beauty and all that. But how do we keep them here? Right?
Exactly.
We have to get them engaged into this community. This is a great way to do that, and enable them to see that their future could be here, that they can make a life here. But if you're secluded in a little self-contained campus somewhere and you don't get a chance to engage that community, well, you're more likely to get your degree and leave
Yes,
and go someplace else.
So partnerships are a huge thing.
Absolutely.
You've got some special things in the works. Can you give us a sneak peek?
Yeah, well, one of the things that we'd like to get involved with, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here, but this is something that's coming up, is the idea of getting involved in sort of cybersecurity programming at USCB. That will open up possibilities for new businesses right here, and I can see the Beaufort Digital Corridor being intimately involved. Secondly, one of the things that we're developing here at the BDC is a kind of entrepreneurship certificate. So you don't have to go back and get a whole nother degree in business or business finance or entrepreneurship to start a new business. But there are a certain, there's certain material, you're right, series of little units that you should understand.
You need to be educated on.
Absolutely. And so having that available, well, someone can come maybe at night and learn from professors and learn from some of the mentors here.
Career development.
Absolutely, about ways to put together a plan and going forward in location, things like that.
Well, there's so much to learn, but we have to go.
Excellent.
We'll be right back with more 843 TV.
Thanks.
And we are back with 843 TV, and I am really excited to introduce you. I have Nate Schraub, who is the principal owner of Mindflint. I have Jamie Fleming, the owner of 1212 Design, Web Designs, and I also have Candace Brasser, who is the Senior Communications Director at USBC. Nice to meet you because, we've been talking about the base camp and now a couple of things that are going on. First, I want to talk to Nate and Jamie because both of you have been residents here for about a year. And so tell us about your experience so far. I'll start with you, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, we moved down here. Actually, I moved my company down here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, just over a year ago, and immediately found Basecamp, actually. And I was looking for a space to just put down some roots. And I'd spent years working either out of my home office or at Starbucks or wherever, as we solo entrepreneurs do. And we're a virtual company, so we have people kind of scattered around the country. And Basecamp was perfect because it gave me a place to come into a physical space, collaborate with other like-minded entrepreneurs and creative types like Jamie. It just creates this awesome environment for idea sharing and lead sharing and collaboration. And so Basecamp's just been a perfect fit for us and has really helped us to grow what was already we were a decent sized company, but now we've really grown.
And how do you like
a lot.
living in Beaufort?
We love Beaufort, a lot better than Pittsburgh, actually.
You'd be
No
definitely
offense
saying
to
that in the
Pittsburgh.
wintertime.
Exactly right.
And now, Jamie, tell us a little bit about your tenure here. You've been here for a year.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, a little bit over a year.
Okay.
I really enjoyed working here. Just like Nate said, being around people like-minded, creatives, entrepreneurs, and then also just to be in the downtown area of Beaufort. It's beautiful down here, so it's nice sometimes just to get away, walk downtown and really brainstorm.
And we know we love your story because you're actually from Beaufort.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're everything we've been talking about on camera with the doctor and also with Shelley. We want Beaufort people to stay in Beaufort, and we have this
Right.
wonderful
Absolutely.
IT facility to do this. So that, that's great. We'll get back to you two. Now let's go to Candace. Now Candace, there is a project that you're all working on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, basically, USCB decided that it was time to redo our website. It was kind of long overdue, and so we reached out to national higher ed companies that do websites, and then of course we came here to the digital corridor to see if there was folks that would be interested in possibly working with us, and we interviewed, like I said, multiple companies, and these guys were like the dream team, if you will. Like they both complement each other so well, and it's so nice that their companies have been working together, and they just are giving our project such a genuine branding,
Yeah,
and they get us, and they get USCB, and it's just been like a real blessing. And there's nothing that I wish Beaufort had. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
especially as it grows, like things are always here, and these guys are just such a indication of that.
Talented.
Yeah,
Talented.
completely.
And it too, like we said, it represents the area where you're a native, you're a transplant, which is the county, not just Beaufort, but Beaufort County is very much like that. So that just kind of lends itself to show how the growth opportunities there and the interaction between people, different areas, and fantastic. Now this project, it's got to be a lot of challenges, a lot of fun stuff. Share a little bit more about some of those that you're experiencing.
Well, yeah, and I'll let, they can talk about that too, but yeah, it's a very, very large scale project. And I think, part of it is to, getting the branding correct, getting the web architecture correct. But you can speak to that if you'd like to.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. Just being able to tell the story of USCB, being able to tell the story of the different types of students, the various students that attend USCB, from the kid straight out of high school to the single parent to military personnel or even veterans, and then also with their OLLI program, and being able to put all their stories together and have that story be told efficiently and beautifully online. We've been really excited to be a part of that.
You
And
just gave me those goosebumps.
Yeah,
I just had
right. I was just thinking that people are drawn to heartfelt stories, and it sounds like that's what you're putting together.
And what we like
Yeah.
about it too is you're from here. You know the texture, the fiber of the community as well. And I think Candace spoke about that, and and having the expertise and the collaboration of the two. I mean, what a great story and what a great win.
So for young aspiring entrepreneurs, what advice
Yeah.
might you two give to those folks? I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of opportunity in a place like Basecamp for those people to come who don't have the direction, don't have the support that they often need. I mean, it's so easy as an entrepreneur to kind of just get isolated and siloed, and a place like Basecamp gives you immediate access to mentors and networking and lead generation opportunities and idea sharing, like we talked about, that helps you get unstuck and create that momentum that's so necessary. So I think if people have an idea and they're looking for not just a physical space to locate, with good Wi-Fi, but a dynamic community of people who can really walk alongside them to get that thing going, a place like Basecamp is perfect.
And would you say fear of failure is probably something that prevents somebody from being all they can be? But with the
Sure.
support here, they can get past that.
Well, I think so. I mean, being an entrepreneur myself, you do get isolated, so you have to be careful not to isolate. You do have to get outside, and I think when you go to work, it's important to do that. And having the facility, but I love the fact that there's just so much smart. I mean, I look around the room here, and you can see all the names: Wave Sciences, Optical Technologies. I mean, there's just such a depth, of quality of businesses here. That's one thing I want everybody to know that. I think that's so important.
Last comments before we close.
It's just been, a huge pleasure, a huge blessing, just to piggyback off of what Candace said, to not only be a part of this project, but also to be here in Basecamp. And I'm happy to also be here in Beaufort, doing this type of work.
Yeah.
And we're happy to be here today too, and be filming in Beaufort. And we're happy that you all were joining us, so stay right back. We'll be here with some more. And we're back here with 843 TV at the Beaufort Digital Corridor. And joining us is Shelley Barrett, who's the Executive Director. I know this is an exciting time to share a lot of things, and you've got something called Code Camp going on.
We do. We started Code Camp a couple of years back, and we do it twice a year in the spring and the fall. This season, we have an instructor who is a USCB student. So this episode is really kind of drawing in USC Beaufort in with the Beaufort Digital Corridor, and our instructor is Jared Volvo, and he is one of the computer science department students. And
Do they have a theme for this particular camp? IT, brilliancy, something?
we have been doing the intro to web development.
Okay.
And this is the last time we're going to do it for a little while, just because this is the 4th time we've done it. And next time we'll do something a little different, maybe some sort of mobile, iOS, or React Native, another language.
Well, let's step back for 1 second because we want to talk about Basecamp and what, this is to promote IT technologies. This is a wonderful workspace for everybody to come to. Tell us a little bit about the footprint here.
So Basecamp is both in a business incubator and a co-working space, and just kind of our tech hub here in Beaufort. The offices around the perimeter are short-term leases meant for startup technology companies. And right now we do have 8 of those 10 filled. We did hit capacity during the summer, but as I mentioned, it's month to month, so things do change. We do have somebody else coming in, so that'll be 9 out of the 10, and we do already have leads for that 10th office. So we're quickly filling and utilizing the space and getting a lot of technology companies that are interested in either starting or have started up that are looking for that little extra business assistance and mentoring. And if you are a resident, you do have access to that mentor network.
Well, that's terrific. Beaufort is growing, and you're going with the times. You recognize that you need to build a presence, and you want to draw in the technology world. So we have the colleges, we have the education programs part of it, and now we have a physical building that is also facilitating this.
Yeah.
Also important to note that if you're just here temporarily, maybe you're even in town for a vacation or something, you need some workspace, how can those folks get plugged in?
So we do offer co-working, and we have had visitors come to us from out of town, either on the boat or driving
The
through.
boat. I love
It's
it.
true. And you can drop in for a day, $25 a day. If you're here for a week, $100 a week. If you are here longer term and you just need a space to touch down part-time, it's about $100 a month. If you're full-time, $200 a month. It's first come, first serve. So if there is an office open, you can duck into an office. Otherwise, we do have plenty of co-working spaces. We have 7 cubicle type spaces. And the benefit, of course, is getting to interact with the other folks here, especially if you are in technology. But anyone that's visiting can come and co-work with us. We also we've sent out some brochures and that sort of a thing to our local lodging facilities so that they know as well. The folks that really need that high-speed internet that are in town need to come in for the day. We've got it here.
That's wonderful. And reasonable rates, doesn't it sound? That sounds really
It is
really easy
reasonable,
to manage. And
So let's
stuff.
talk about programs. I know we talk about the code programs. Anything else that we want to share with everybody? Because it's always going on something here.
Something is always going on. So the other USCB tie-in is our Live Work Mentor program. Every summer we bring in a team of college students to develop their product.
Right.
They went through a tech entrepreneurial workshop maybe at their college, and we're drawing them in for the summer, helping them create that business plan, maybe get to their minimum viable product or their MVP. And USCB Beaufort student housing is where they stay. So that's a nice another way to bring the two together. And so USCB really has worked with us a lot in that manner as well. So that's one. Our recent team was from College of Charleston, and we actually interviewed them on the last episode, Life
Yes,
Launcher.
they were just a bunch of nice guys.
Right. And then We also have the Base Camp Gallery, so the artwork that you see when you come in, we change that out every quarter. USCB Fine Arts was actually our first exhibit when we started doing this. This exhibit for the fall is Emily Scott Pack, and she's doing a dual exhibit. So it'll be her encaustic works of art with the locally sourced wax, really beautiful colors, and then some black and white photography and her raw project. So she's we're doing the art walk, so we'll be open for the art walk in the fall, and then she'll be here for the next several months, and we'll change that out.
And we can view this all here.
Yep, here at Base Camp.
Wow.
Yep.
And you're located in such a significant area with the campus across the street, right on the waterfront, right near Bay Street, where there's all of these activities and all these different things happening. So it's a wonderful space. How do people get in touch with you to try to get a little bit more information?
Well, we do obviously have a website, BeaufortDigital.com. And people have found us on Google as well, if you look up co-working spaces, that sort of a thing.
Oh, that's
and then we're trying to get the word out in some of the local print and obviously news and video and that sort of a thing, because we know that news reaches people in different ways here in Beaufort. So it's mostly word of mouth, but you know, technology, Google, they'll find us.
But I do want to reach out and say to the visitors, do come and be here, spend the day. Beaufort is a beautiful town, and there's lots of great food here. I mean, you can work and play
And shopping.
and shopping. That's right. So that you know, come see Beaufort. It really has a beautiful charm
Just blocks
to it.
away.
It just blocks away, and then
Yeah.
the water's right over there. So you bring
a
in
good
your
place to
boats.
be.
I think you know.
Shelley, exciting to learn all about the new updates since we've come here last, and we thank you for sharing about that. And we thank you all for watching this episode of 843 TV.
Thanks for having me.
Where communities come to speak.